योग वशिष्ठ निर्वाण प्रकरण पूर्वार्ध 44th chapter. We are discussing on the point how can we get rid of doership, because Guru Vasistha advises Rama, don't have doership. For that also some other supporting points he has added. Don't have attachment with these sense objects, and don't have doership, and whatever you get now at the present by no effort, without effort, accept it and fulfill the demand of the time, situations and conditions. Thereby you will not be attached to the work you have done, and you will not have also the expectation of the result of it, and you can easily give up doership. This is how Vasistha ji explains Rama. So we are discussing this point. And the question was, without doership, how can any work will be done? So yesterday we have discussed it can be done. The moment we say, don't be the doer, so the question arises, if I am not the doer, then who is going to do the work? Simple question. If I don't do the work, so how can the work be done? So, this is of course a simple question. By the side, the simple common sense, are you all alone in this world to do everything? Why don't you take this point with that? Are you the only person in this whole universe who does everything? Are you one? There are so many persons. When you have got up from the bed and you want your bed tea, do you make the tea and drink it on the bed? How do you get the bed tea? Somebody does for you, isn't it? So simple. Somebody makes the tea for you and brings it to you. Some well-wisher or some servant or something, somebody. You are not going to do everything. You can never do everything. Whatever you have with you, it is not done by you. Why don't you forget it? Why don't you accept it? See, I wear this cloth. Have I done it? Some other has done for me. I eat some food. Do I cook the food every day for me? Never so. somebody cooks for me, isn't it? Whatever I do, really speaking, I do nothing for me. Wherever I say I have done it, I have eaten, I have drunk something, I have done this work, I have this, I have that, nothing is done by you. And you claim that without my doership nothing can be done. How do you think like this? This is just common, simple discussion. We can see everywhere. Nobody does everything for him. So you have to accept this society, or whether it is human society or the animal society or bird society or plant life, whatever you take. Nobody does anything for themselves, isn't it? The cow grazes the grass. Does she make all those grass? Does she grow any grass? The bird early in the morning gets up and picks up some insects. Does the bird give birth to or make these insects grow? Does nothing, but it eats it. The lion eats the deer. What does he do for the deer? We can say he does not do anything for the deer, but it eats it. Eating the lion does, isn't it? The lion cannot eat also. It cannot eat. Where from it gets the energy to eat? Can it run in the desert and chase the deer and catch it and eat it? Never it can. So who has made this forest for him? So everything, if we discuss everything, we see point-wise, every point we have to see. We have done nothing. Everything is ready for us at all the times. Isn't it? Can you deny this? Everything is ready for us. So, what can you say? Prakritehe kriyamanani gunehi karmani sarvasa. See, the child will take birth after some time and the milk is ready in the breast of the mother before the child borns. Who does it? Does the child arrange for that? Nobody does anything really speaking for him. Everything is done by the nature. Nature means the society around us. Society not only means the human society, everything around us, the whole nature, the other human beings, other living beings, or or our plant life, or the whole earth, everything, water, air, fire, together, they arrange everything for us. Why don't you accept it? So, the nature does everything, you do nothing. So simple. There is no question of taking some authentic proofs from somewhere and who has seen it, what is the proof for it. All these are not necessary. Some simple common sense. Simple common sense will tell you. So you do nothing, but everything is ready for you. And you do, if you do anything, you just fulfill the need of the hour. That's all you do. Really speaking, you do so. Why don't you accept it? Where from you do this, bring this doership? Unnecessarily problem. And let us see, if you are the doer, okay, we accept for the time being. You are the doer. So, how do you do? How do you perform any action? Say, I am the eater. I am the seer. I am the seer. I have seen this. I see this tree before me. I am the seer. I need not make this tree, but tree is there, so I see it. You can argue in this way. But how do you see? If you claim you are this here, do you know how do you see it? If you close your eyes, can you see? No. So, who opens your eyes? Say, you can say, because of prana, which activates all the nerve systems in our body, the eye opens automatically when we wish. You wish. So, who is the wisher? Can the hand wish? Or can the eye wish to see? No. The mind can wish only. So, are you the mind? Are you the mind? If you are the mind, say, you are the mind. So, mind never sees. Mind makes the eyes to see. So, how can you claim that you are the doer? You are the seer? Isn't it? No, if you have got some doubt, you can just argue. I am just giving you common facts and figures. I am not bringing any logic, difficult logic for you. So who are you then? As a doer, what do you think? Who are you then? Who is the doer? Is the body doer? No, body cannot do anything. If the body does everything, then why not a corpse do anything? Dead body? It cannot do anything. Neither the senses nor the body can do anything. If the eyes can see, why not the dead body's eyes see? So really, who is this here? Is it the mind? Maybe.
But with the help of the mind he is seeing.
By the help of the mind. Yes. Why not? The mind controls and orders all the senses and the body also to move and do some actions, isn't it? So we can.
Means desire of the mind.
Oh, yes, yes. Without the wish, without the desire, can the mind do anything? No. It must have a will to see, then only it will order the eyes to see. Is it?
But that is for the sense organs. But what for the internal organs? We don't command or we don't tell anything to the internal
Of course. For the outer senses or body or our
mind.
prana also, or all these, mind has to work, but internally mind doesn't do anything. Who does all those internal actions? Now the question is like this. Who does all these internal digestion and putting out the dirt from the body and intaking, digesting and supplying to the different parts? Who does all these things?
Prana.
Prana does everything. Simple. Through the help of all these nerve system, and prana itself does many things. Prana is divided into 10 parts, main 5 parts, prana, apana, etc. They get together and they create pressure, and by the pressure, just as the what is that? They clean the road, JCB. JCB. It does everything. It has got no prana, no mind, nothing. But it does everything by the pressure. Either by the wear system or by the air pressure. The works are done. So some intelligence, some awareness must be behind everything. See, the generator, if once started, it goes on. There is no mind, there is no prana, nothing. The generator goes on supplying us energy. So, somebody should start it, isn't it? Some starter. So now we have come to see the starting point. Who has started the work? Prana does everything, mind also helps. So what we have discussed last before some days, it is a triangular cooperative society. Prana, mind and body senses, they get together and they perform all these actions. Okay? So some starters should be there. In the nature we see everything is electronic process. But who has pushed the button? Who is that starter? So our we have to take the help of our scriptures. The great seers have done so much research on it and found out the consequence, the conclusion they have given us. They say that absolute, all-pervading awareness is present everywhere. The universal presence, it gives a prompting to everything, and that is called universal energy. So we, philosophically, we name it the Adi Shakti, the primordial energy, and it works. So, where do you stand now? Where is your position? Come on. Are you the body? No. Are you the senses? No. Are you the mind? No. Because it is a process made by some wavy system, waves. So, are you the result of the waves? That means intellect, subtler than the mind, and more active, more sensitive than the mind, quicker than the mind. No, you cannot be, because all these are only waves. What do you mean by wave then? Wave is nothing but misbalanced position of a balanced state. Can you agree? Misbalanced position of a balanced state. If it is a wave, that means it is unbalanced. So, if it was not balanced before, how can it be imbalanced? So, taking all these serious points, the great seers have given us the conclusion that the nature or the primordial energy does all these actions by imbalancing the three qualities. The three qualities was in balanced state in the beginning, and when they become imbalanced somehow or other, then all the job is done by the nature. Nature means the energy. And now, who gives a momentum to make it imbalance? Can energy work out by itself? No energy can work by itself. Have you seen any energy doing everything by itself? Of course, electronic instruments we have seen, but it will not work as long as some intelligence gives a push to it. That intelligence is nothing but awareness. Then only the energy starts working, and then electronically, automatically, the work goes on endlessly. And in between it needs support, that is called food, fuel. Yes. So it will go on automatically. And sometimes the energy itself makes food for itself. Sometimes, not all the time. In this way, the whole universe goes on, and your whatever actions you do, your all these actions are done by the nature, your nature. If you are the doer, then your nature is the doer, not you. What are you then? You are just the prompter. Okay? Now your position has taken a chair. You are the chairman. Okay? You were standing nowhere. I have given you a chair. You are the chairman. You have to start the meeting. It is really a meeting. The whole universe, one meets with the other, then the work goes on. It is universal meeting. One atom meets with the other atom, then the work goes on. These meetings are done by the energy, and energy cannot start, meeting cannot start unless the chairman orders. So you are the chairman now. You have to find out, you have to identify yourself. You are the boss. By your order, everything goes on, and you just wish, let the meeting go on. That's all. Meeting will go on. All the process will take place by itself. Everything is arranged beforehand. You have to do nothing. This is how the universal, all the system goes on. So who are you then? You have to analyze yourself. Who are you? And you are just the seer. You are the observer. Your presence does everything. You sit silently because you are the chairman. You just sit silently, and the whole thing, whole system of meeting is arranged. It will go on. If somewhere some disorder takes place, it will be ordered, it will be arranged by the managers. Different kind of managers are there in the nature. They will do the needful. So you are the absolute awareness, and there appeared a desire as it were which is not there. You are just invited. Everything was beforehand. When you reached the meeting hall, did you see everything being arranged on your front? No, everything was pre-arranged. So jatha purvam akalpayat. So says the Vedas. Yatha purvam akalpayat. Just as before, he starts. Everything is pre-arranged, and you just to wish, yes, let the meeting go start. That's all. That is your duty. That is what you do. And really speaking, you have done nothing. So you cannot claim the meeting is arranged by me. No. Nothing is done by you. Even though you are the Almighty Lord there, chairman. You have done nothing. Everything is prearranged. So this is what we call nature. It goes on endlessly. Prakritehe kriyamāṇāni gunehi karmāni sarvasa ahankāra vimudhātmā me kartāhamiti manyate. Everything is being done by the nature, and foolish, egoistic being claims that he is the doer. Now we shall discuss still more elaborately the process, how you can transfer this doership into non-doership. How can you be the non-doer? Fully, perfectly non-doer. For the time being, we may say the chairman does nothing, but chairman comes and sits on the chair and allows everything to start. But it is prearranged, no doubt, and everything goes on at his presence. If he is not there, meeting will not go on, because he is the everything there. So the universe will go on as long as that will is present. That will, the presence of the will, I am, let me be many. I am one, let me be many. Ekoham bahusyama. That will which is not really there, it works through. Now, if you are the absolute awareness, your presence does everything, you do nothing, you cannot claim you are the doer. You have done nothing, you will do nothing, nor you can do anything. Can you bring some chairs and arrange in the meeting hall? No. You know nothing. Can you make a garland for yourself? No. The garland is brought by some other person for you. You are just garlanded and you are the boss and everything is there, but you do nothing. You are VVIP. Sit silently. So can you sit silently throughout the meeting? Can you? Have you seen any chairman sitting silently just like a stone? Throughout the meeting it goes on for hours. Have you seen anyone? No. The foolish chairman does everything. But there is no need for him to do anything. So let us see, how can you be silent? If you see the whole program, bit by bit, everything which is going on. Seriously, if you see as a seer, then some mistakes will be there. So naturally you will interpret or interfere or do something. No, no, it should not be done like that. It should be done like that. So, don't be a seer. If you see, you will have attachment, means your own opinion. So, non-seer first. That means your senses should not be associated with the sense objects. This is the point. The senses should not be associated with the sense objects. And even though you keep quiet and you think, I should not keep quiet, I should do something, that is also not good. You will be a hypocrite. So open your eyes, see but see not. That means your senses should not have attachment with the objects of the senses.
That means not to get involved.
Not to get involved, not to have any concern with any happenings, just to be unattached. This unattachment, anasakti, is possible when you don't see the objects, means perceive the sense objects seriously. The eyes will see, the ears will hear, but don't give importance to it. Out of their nature, they will do their program, but don't utter a single word. Then only you will be VIP. If you say something in between, find out some mistakes or give some rewards, you will be involved, and then you have to spend something from your pocket, you will be caught, then outside there will be afterwards, or then and there also some objections, some you see, supports, everything will be there. So see but see not. That is the only way to be safe. Let the senses do their work, but don't give importance to it, don't give meaning to it. For example, I can tell you, you must have seen some children running and falling down and starting weeping. If you look at them, they will weep. They will cry aloud. And if you just be indifferent, don't look at them, they will keep quiet because they have fallen down by themselves. Nobody has put them. So they will keep quiet. Have you seen this? This is what happens.
They want attention.
Attention, and importance. Children generally do whatever they do, they try to attract you. Showing nature. And from childhood we have been trained to show off. Everybody is so. Whatever we do, it is for others to see. This is the real fact. You decorate your face. Do you see your face all the time? Others should say, what fellows we are. See the mustache of our Ashokji, our Kulkarniji. Do you see your mustache all the time? My God, it is only for others, not only you, everybody. I have to be very careful about this thing, or else these great seers, they say, Swamiji doesn't look nice. I have to be very careful. My God, what to do? Whole world is showy. Never mind. The point is, if you pay attention, if you are concerned, if you give value to the occurrence, then it becomes valuable. If you give the value to the object, then it becomes valuable, or else not. For example, some devotee of Lord Ganesh, he was going to observe Ganesh Chaturthi, celebrate some puja, etc. He wanted to bring some Ganesh Murti. He was a rich man. He went to the goldsmith's shop and he wanted, have you got any Ganesh? Yes, we have. Give me a small Ganesh Murti out of silver. So he purchased the silver Ganesh idol for say 1,000 rupees or say 10,000. Never mind. Nowadays everything is very costly. The rate has been increased so rapidly. So silver Ganesh he purchased for say 1,000 rupees. And while coming he forgot, Arey, I have not brought the mouse. Ganesh needs a mouse to go here and there, his vehicle, mouse. So he went back, asked, my dear, I have forgotten the mouse. Please give me a small mouse. So the goldsmith said, I don't have a silver mouse, but I have a small golden mouse. Will you? Yes, it will do. Small one. Yes, please take it. What is the cost of it? It is 10,000. What? Ganesh is so big. It is for 1,000 and so small mouse. It is 10,000. How is it so? The goldsmith says, my dear, it is Ganesh for you and mouse for you, but for me it is not Ganesh. It is silver and this is gold. When you give the value, then it becomes valuable. Understood? From which angle you see the object and give value to it. The beautiful mango fruit tree, which is giving you so much beautiful sweet mangoes, it is a beautiful fruit tree for you. For a carpenter, he will not see the mangoes. He will see the cost of the wood. So, for a bird, the birds will see if it is a very bushy tree, then we can make some nests in it. They see it from different angle. And the animals see it is not, it is good for nothing. We cannot eat all these mango leaves. Good for nothing. Better than this is grass. Isn't it? So from which angle you see and how do you value the object? That is important, not the object. If you value it, then it becomes valuable. This is how the whole world is. So, even though the senses are working, they are wide open to accept the, perceive the objects of their own choice. If you don't give value to the object, then the object becomes valueless. Then you can have an attachment with the objects. Point-wise, go on noting down the points. First of all, you should not have association, if you can, with the sense objects. If you cannot, then don't give the value to these sense objects and find fault with it. It is momentary. If it gives you some pleasure, it is only for a moment, and then it has to change. As per everybody's experience, we see it. We cannot deny this. So, the values are transitory. If at all you give value to the object, it is ever changing. It is not permanent value. Isn't it? The same rupee, it goes on changing when it is compared with the dollar. Sometimes it increases, sometimes it decreases its value. So the value is changeable. Don't rely upon the value. And find fault with the object, then you will have dispassion with the object. And with all these process, you can have total detachment from the object. Okay, now the whole world is meaningless for you. Anasakta yoga. And if you give it out outwardly and think of it inwardly. If the mind is concerned or the intellect is concerned, even then you are going to be caught. Be careful. If you are not concerned inwardly, outwardly, you don't give value to the object, you are not attached with the objects, then though the senses do their respectful works, even then you are not the doer. Then only you can be the non-doer.
So, anasakti.
Anasakti yoga. They give the example, be in the water as a leaf of the lotus, but water will not touch you. Padma patram ivambhasa. In the water, the lotus leaf grows in the water, stays whole life in the water, but water never touches it. It is unattached, untouched by the water. Be in the world, don't be worldly. This is how you can be the non-doer. And another point, from different angles. If you start the work, if you are the starter, then your responsibility is to carry on the work. Simply starting and giving it up, you are irresponsible person.
No, temple construction नहीं करना है.
Anything you do, you have to take care of it throughout, till the end. You becomes concerned with the object and you are entangled. This is how we are entangled in the world. So, the formula says, Sarvarambha Parityagi. You should not start anything. Of course, you can be in between. So there is no, you will not be concerned with the process or the things going on, whatever is going on. You are in between, neither you have started nor you are going to be till the end. So you have no concern, you have no responsibility. This is called indifferency. You should be indifferent all the time. So in this way, you have to keep quiet. Keeping quiet means now try to understand the real meaning of keeping quiet. Keeping quiet means not that not doing anything. Because nobody can remain without doing anything for a moment. Nahi kaschid kshanamapi jatut isthatya karmakrit. Nobody can remain as silent without doing anything for a moment. You are bound to do. So in what sense you say this? You see, if you are the body, you cannot keep quiet, because body has to do something for its maintenance or for its all-round protection. If you are the senses, also you cannot keep quiet. If you are the mind, mind is a process, you cannot keep quiet. If you are the intellect, there also you cannot keep quiet. So, you have to do something or other. That's how the great seers have said, nobody can keep quiet even for a moment without doing anything. This is the law. Because you are the body, you are the senses, you are the mind, you are the intellect, you are the subconscious mind, you are the ego, so you cannot keep quiet. If you are beyond this, you can keep quiet as a seer.
Doing everything.
Doing everything. Let them do their job. You are not concerned because they cannot keep quiet. So allow them to do. Allow them to do. You be an observer, silent witness, and enjoy the game. Impartially and without any attachment and indifferently. Then only you are saved, or else you are entangled. Then you have to go through the process. It is a cycle. Go on and on, repeating everything again and again. There is no escape from it. This is how you have to allow the senses to do their job. So, if you are not concerned, then what happens? If everybody is allowed to do the job, their respective jobs, and you are the silent witness, then what happens? Then all these actions go on as it is desired perfectly well at present. So that is the way to live at present. You are silent observer. Whatever comes, whatever goes, whatever happens, no complaint, no opinion. You are just the seer. So there is no acceptance, no rejection. So live at present easily. This is how the great wise men, they live at present. That means they are not concerned with the time, space and conditions. Whatever is going on, they have no complaint.
No involvement.
Pardon?
No involvement.
No involvement, no concern. This is how the non-doer can do everything. Non-doer does everything. Without the ego, the whole world goes on. And the other example we always see the government. Government is not one person. Isn't it? Government means a total functionary. So many persons are involved in it. And nobody is government. And yet everybody is part of the government. The president, the governors of the states, the Prime Minister, the Chief Ministers, and the subordinates of different kinds, of different departments, they are part and parcel of the government. And in a democratic government, every citizen also and part and parcel of the government. The government is by the people, of the people, from the people, for the people, in the people. So you are part and parcel of the government. But yet you are not the government. See the fun. This is how the world is going on. Let it go on. Let it go on. Let the government go on. There is some president. He is the silent witness. He does nothing. He does not come to catch the thief and punish. No, he does nothing. He doesn't collect all these taxes. No. He is not the treasurer. He never spends anything from the treasury. Nothing happens. Nothing he does. But yet he is the all-doer. His presence does everything. Out of the fear of the presence of the president, everything goes on. I told you a story again and again. I repeat this story. Beautiful example. Once the President of India had to come to Gangotri to see Gangotri, and at the same time he wanted to see Swami Chidanand Maharaj because he was the boyhood friend of Swami Chidanand. And now he has become President of India, and Swamiji has become President of Divine Life Society. So he wanted to see Swami Chidanand Maharaj at Gangotri. So they had communication and it was fixed. Swamiji also gave his program, so the President also fixed his program accordingly. Now everything was getting ready. Gangotri, a small township in the woods away from the locality in the corner, and everything will be haphazard. So because the President is going to come, the news spreads so rapidly. The lower government people, they are so alert everywhere, cleanliness, water department, electricity department and other departments were so alert, red alert, so clean, so neat and clean, so beautiful. They made some gates, beautiful gates for welcoming the President, and the temple was decorated beautifully. President will come. Everything was beautified. And somehow the President's program was cancelled. And Swami Chidanand, I had to be with the Swamiji all the time when he comes to the spot. He will stay here for some time, and all of us, we accompany him to Gangotri, and we do all the arrangements in the Gangoti Kutir. So I was with Swamiji. When we reached Gangotri, it was so beautiful, so neat and clean. Swamiji was astonished. Preman Swamiji, Gangotri looks like a queen. What happens? What happened? So beautiful, so neat and clean, how it is. I gave him the news. The president had to come as per your program, and somehow it is cancelled, and that's why Gangotri has been so beautiful now. So Swamiji gave this example to me. See, this is how the president does everything though he doesn't do anything. The president of the universe. God does everything, yet he is the non-doer. This is how you can also do everything without doing anything. Did you get the answer? My dear?
Yes, Swamiji.
Sripad?
Hari Om, Swamiji. Yes, Swamiji. Got it.
Got it? Without being the doer, you can do everything. You are the all-doer.
Swamiji, I have a question. Can I ask?
Yes, surely, now itself. I have time now.
Swamiji, you said that there should not be attachment, involvement. Then, in practical life, what will be the motivation? Swamiji, we can understand that we are not a doer and we are not running the things. But what will be the motivation, Swamiji?
Motivating everyone. We have already discussed, I have not got the point. See, the prana is a motivator, the mind also is a motivator, intellect also is a motivator. When you compare the pairs from lower to higher, the higher becomes the motivator of the lower. Understood? This way the whole universe goes on, motivating one to the other. And the final motivator is there to motivate everything by his presence. That is what we are discussing now. What else? Motivator, prompter or starter, same meaning. Same meaning. How can you motivate? Motivator means prompter, giving a push. That is Chodayatri, the supreme power. It motivates everyone and it goes on from one to the other. This is how the energy works. And who are to motivate anyone? How can you motivate? There is no question. But everything is going on. Motivator means starter, isn't it? Or wisher, well-wisher. I wish you should do this. Or canvasser, you should vote for him. Our selected person, you should vote for him. So all this is done by the nature, and nature also does everything by his presence. His presence is nothing but he, he himself, and it does everything, behind everything. His presence is omnipresence, so nothing is out of him. The government is omnipresent in the country, isn't it? Is there any absence of the government? The government is motivator, he is the doer, and he is the manager, he is everything. Controller, and he is the giver of the punishment, he is the giver of the reward, he is a collector, he is a dispatcher, everything is. He is the planner. Government does the planning. You do nothing. Yet you are the part and parcel of the government. So also this universal government goes on. This is called universal government. Our creation or our universe, it has got a government. Everything is divided. The responsibilities are distributed to different personalities. क्या कहते हैं इसको? Delegation of work. And different department heads are, we have discussed this nature controller, these gods, our gods, you know, so many gods are there. Gods are taken in this way. The different parts of the nature is controlled by the different parts of the nature. So when the different aspects are controlled by a particular limited, personified and centrified energy, it is called a God. It is particular in that sense, and it is limited in that sense, just as water aspect. So, water God is, we call it Indra, because water is the source of life. So, Indra is the king of all gods. And all other gods are there. Dhanvantari is the health ministry head. and so many other doctors are appointed. So many these great rishis or great gods, Ashwini Kumar and others, they are the health ministers. And and Kubera is the great treasurer. Lakshmi is the
RBI.
RBI, yes. Beautiful. Lakshmi is RBI. This is how the works go on in subtler world, and they control the grosser world. So Yajna is the mediator, the connecting rod. Yajna, the sacrifice. We have to communicate with the subtler aspects. Without that, we cannot keep up our lives. So they also need something from grosser aspects. So we have to supply them. So the mediator is yajna, the fire. You see, subtlemost is the sky, ether, and then the air, and then the fire, water, and earth. Among these five, fire is the middle one, and it can transfer gross into subtle, subtle into gross. So, fire is taken as the sacrifice medium. And fire, whatever you give, it makes it subtle and supply to the subtler departments. And they are happy with that. They are, you see, they are prospered by that, and they give you something, and that subtler things will be grosser by the fire. If you get rains, which is our life source, water, it is only heat. Fire only is the mediator. Water becomes clouds, rain, and you get the rainwater, and the whole earth is nourished by it. If the water remains in the ocean all the time, you are not going to get it. So this process is done by the fire only. So in this way, some mediator is there which communicates this side with that side with this. This is how the whole nature goes on, and you have to be a part of it without having any desires. This is how you can overcome your desires, and desires are the root cause for restlessness. We go on trying our whole life to fulfill the desires only. We are the slaves of our desires, and desires are born out of association with the sense objects and attachment with that. And it creates a sense of incompleteness within us, so we desire for some objects. And desires are our root cause for problems and miseries in life.
Desires are basically a culprit.
Yes, culprits. And this is how you can conquer over your enemies. The inner enemies are mainly six. There are, of course, so many. But Kama esa krodha esa rajo guna samudbhava mahasana mahapapa midhena vihavairanyam. The lust and anger, these are the terrific enemies. They always try to trouble you and give you miseries. So they are the inner enemies. If you have no desires, you have no attachment for anything, if you don't pay any value to these sense objects, if you are not concerned with the outer names and forms, sense objects, then these two dreadful enemies cannot harm you by any way. They do no harm to you. Without conquering these two men, commander-in-chiefs, and all other, so many enemies are there. Lobh, moh, mad, मात्सर्य and ईर्षा, द्वेष, क्या क्या नहीं है. Yeah, so many enemies are there. Full battle, full, full, what do you say? एक पूरा
force.
पूरा आर्मी को क्या बोलते हैं?
दल.
दल को क्या कहेंगे?
समूह.
हाँ, समूह को क्या कहते हैं आर्मी का?
बटालियन.
Battalion, full battalion. So many. They are ready to attack you and harm you, kill you. Be careful. These two are the commander-in-chief, and if you have attachment, if you have value for the sense objects, if you have desires, then you are a gone case. You are the slave of the enemies. You have to do whatever the army chief says. The enemy army chief says. You have to follow them. So be careful, and this is how live at present without acceptance, without rejections, without complaints. Just let the senses, body and mind fulfill the demands of the time, situations and conditions. Let them fulfill. Don't be the doer, but live at present. That past is dead and gone. It has gone forever. And that future is unknown. Nobody knows what is going to happen. Nobody, no astrologer can give you 100% correct reports of the future. Nothing can be, because everything is changing every moment. So nobody can calculate. So even the Lord Krishna says, Gahana karmana gati. Difficult is to say what is going to happen and how the karma system, your action and reaction system will reach where. Nobody knows. So how can you rely upon the future? Simple planning is good for nothing. So you will ask surely, Swamiji, if we don't plan for tomorrow, how can we live? Is it possible in this life? We have to see the past. You see, unless we get the TC from the school, how can we go to the higher class somewhere in some other city and admit there? We have to get the certificate from the past, and we have to plan for the future. I have to be admitted somewhere in some college. So how can I live? Is it possible? Yes, for a worldly being, Of course, without giving much attention, much value to all these past and future, for little past, little future, we may just think for, but that is also not necessary. If you be unconcerned, everything will be done for you. Just try and see, do the practical, see what is going on. I can give you the warranty card for the whole life. Everything will be done at present in your favor. For that person, the whole nature has to be favorable. No harm can happen for him. Nobody can harm him. Nobody can harm him. Of course, you may say, if I don't have the college certificate, I cannot get a job. If I cannot get a job, I cannot earn some money. How can I live my life? Yes, you need money, but not only money. Money or wealth may fulfill your desires, but don't but let not the money be your own desire. It will not fulfill all the desires. Some desires are fulfilled by money, no doubt. But there are so many other desires which cannot be fulfilled by money. So money is not only the desired object. Without money, you can live the life. Money is not the source of life. It helps, no doubt. Not only money, so many other things help you. Why don't you give importance to everything if you give so much importance to money? So, you can live without anything, wishing for anything, you can live your life happily. The whole universe has to be favorable for you. Whole nature is bound to be favorable for you. See, do it practically. If it fails, I will give you all the money you desire. The whole 3 worlds I will give you.
Everything will be taken care.
Everything will be taken care. Nature takes care. Because nature does everything for nature's sake. So you need nothing. Really speaking, you need nothing. It is only for nature you demand something. You have to fulfill the need of the senses, body and your mind, your intellect, all these. You want a car for whom? Do you really need a car? Without car, the mind goes anywhere and everywhere. So do you want a car for the mind or for the intellect? So all these needs are bodily needs. As long as you identify yourself with the body, all the desires, all the needs arise, or else no needs. You need nothing. And all these needs are for the body, senses and mind and intellect, etc. And they will be fulfilled by the nature. Don't worry. Don't think of the past, don't think of the future. Live at present and live practically and then have the complaint. Then have the complaint. We shall see. Hari Om. Do everything, don't be the doer. This is how, without doership, we can do everything. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnad Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sadguru Bhagavan ki jai, Satchidananda Bhagavan ki jai, Sabda Brahma